scope of our motions to compel. So it may feel a little choppy, but we would like to hear from Detective Mawery today and would call him.
Face the clerk, raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I work with the Moscow Police Department. I am a Moscow Fluid Fighter.
Have you been a detective that entire time?
I have, yes.
And what was your
A
role?
lot of different things.
Do you do any work with cell phones and cell towers?
I have taken training for cell phone analysis.
We have a jury next door.
Was that one of the roles that you played in this investigation? And the other area that I'd like to talk to you about is the collection of videotape evidence or surveillance evidence from around the community. What was your role in that? Did you have any role in verifying the content of the surveillance?
No.
I'm going to have a few questions about that, but I want to talk a little bit more about your role with cell phones and cell towers.
We have a jury next door.
The cellular analysis, is that particular to the device itself, the cell phone device?
No.
That is particular to towers?
To the towers and the fighters themselves. I'm not sure if one was sponsored by the other, but they were both owned by FBI.
Detective Mawery, how many total hours do those certificates represent of cast training?
I apologize, I didn't look. It was a week long. It was actually a couple of days each time. It shows 24 hours, 2023 says 16 hours.
I want to talk about two particular reports right now. One is from May the 5th of 2023. Do you recall that report, or should I bring a copy of that to you?
It'd be helpful to add it up.
Detective Mawery, does that appear to be your report from May 5th of 2023?
Yes.
And your Honor would move for admission of Defendants P. Detective Mawery, I do not have a police report for the other one that I want to talk about
We
today.
have a jury next door.
It's one that I received via email today
We have a jury next door.
that was written just within the last few days by you, probably. Do you know what report I'm talking about? The report that you wrote that I received today, why did you come to find them yesterday?
I found session logs that were sent to me from the FBI.
To the best of my memory, yes.
Jury next door.
How many files were there?
I don't remember if I did it.
I did not retrieve any of them.
I attempted to yesterday.
I noticed in your report that there were several items that you listed. Were those from these CastViz logs that you attempted to look at yesterday?
Yes, that's the way it appeared.
There were some files that were in the session logs, there were other files that were not. I would assume that. I didn't create those files. I could not.
How did you get those?
I was provided those
By who?
by Nick Ballance of the FBI.
Thank you. The state would call Nick Ballance. Good afternoon, Agent.
Good afternoon, sir.
And
Yes, sir. It's Nicholas Ballance. Ballance spelled Ballance.
an agent is the proper
Yes, sir. That's fine.
title. Okay. All right. If you could just, you've testified already, but if you could briefly remind the jury what your occupation is.
I'm a supervisory special agent with the FBI, and I'm assigned specifically to a group known as the Cellular Analysis Survey Team, or CAST. CAST briefly is looking at records that are maintained by a provider and then placing those records onto a map. It's kind of the most general sense of what I do. I'm doing an analysis.
What did you do with those?
Even as soon as I realized they were in my possession, I had contacted the prosecutor and gave them.
And that would be just yesterday, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
How did videos end up in the possession of the Commonwealth?
What did you do with them prior to that time?
What I'm trying to ask is, and maybe I'm doing it inartfully, what was the line of succession? You took possession of Mr. O'Keefe's cell phone physically, correct?
Yes.
And you have.
They were sent to me. I put them in a folder and I didn't do anything else with them. That's why I forgot them.
Okay. That was the 48-hour file.
The 48-hour session log, yes.
How about the full file? What was contained in there?
Similar items to the 48.
What is the full file?
I believe that was the.
You obtained the warrant returns once those search warrants were executed, correct?
I did.
Brings up a question for clarification. When you say second warrant return, are you talking about something that relates to Brian Kohberger? Brian Kohberger?
Correct. That's my understanding.
And then he provided those to you for your review.
Yes, they were archived.
You drafted the search warrant for the Ring video access records, correct?
Second AT&T return that we got via warrant. Yes, there was two warrants that were originally written. One that covered a 48-hour period for the cell phone number And there was one that was later done for a longer period of time. Or the email, I honestly don't remember. Unfortunately, it was yesterday and I didn't throw this stuff together. So,
Okay.
As the case officer, you obtained and controlled those ring videos from One Meadows from the moment that they came into Massachusetts State Police custody until they were handed over to the Commonwealth, correct?
So that was one that you just found yesterday?
yes,
Okay. Did you open that yesterday?
I don't remember. I was looking for it. Once I found them, I was trying to figure out how they came into my presence or in my possession. That's what I started to
Do you know when that came into your possession?
some time ago.
Those 3 files that we just talked about, along with the CASVIZ 48 and the CASVIZ full, are those copied so that I can have those now?
Yes,
Did you open that?
I believe I did on my laptop.
What did that show you?
It showed me different locations and so forth on a map.
You've already testified that there were several hundred ring videos.
On the map to actually show locations or other things.
Did you do anything with that file when you found it yesterday?
I did open that file, yes.
Okay. Did that show you when you opened it?
There were references to 2 locations inside.
You had access to Mr. O'Keefe's ring account in that cell phone, is that right?
Correct.
You indicated that you reviewed several of the videos on his ring app on his cell phone.
You open it, does it just say here's 2 references, or what does it show you when you open it?
It's different code, but there is some plain language or plain English plain text inside of that code.
Is that right?
Yes.
So you obviously had not only possession of his cell phone, you had possession of his login account information to get into the app on his cell phone. Is that right?
I attempted to load session file in its entirety and received errors, so I was not able to. That's why I went into the JSON file to see if there was something I could see reference.
Is that file usable?
I'm sure it is somewhere.
We have a jury next door.